Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are live here again on DevHub. I'm so excited for today's bonus session. This is a bonus episode of DevHub Live with two guests from the near ecosystem that have been building for a while, a long time, but have both actually changed their name, and some more recent than others. So we have Bitte Protocol, and we have now Rhea Finance, which used to be part of Ref and Burrow combined together. So we have all these things, and we are talking about embedded agents. And this is something that we've talked about different forms of agents and how they can be used in different products. But here is a real world example we're going to talk about. And we have both teams here today. So without any further delay, let's bring them up to the stage. If you haven't already, again, please check out down below and sign up for everything because we have tons of stuff going on and we'll follow up at the end of the episode. But let's get going right away here. We have Serge and Marco. Thanks, guys, for joining this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you, Joe.
So let's start at the top. And Serge, I'll start with you because the agents are actually coming from Bitte Protocol here. So what is an embedded agent?
Yeah, so essentially, a lot of people are building agents. We have a bunch of these protocols which are enabling people to go and actually build them. But we decided that one of the points that is kind of like missing is the distribution point. So how can we allow these different dApps to take advantage of these agents to make their experiences better? I think a lot of people are speaking about how like AI is a new frontier for like UI and UX. So allowing people to distribute these agents into their own dApps is kind of like the direction we're going in. And Rhea was a very good place to start. So that's one of our first partners in that endeavor. And yeah, that's the goal there.
Yeah, Margot, so for you guys at Rhea Finance here, what is the impetus to actually go and start actually putting agent into the product? Why do you see that as a next step?
Yeah, while I'm looking at this new AI agent, we realize that it will greatly improve our user experience. It's like it's not only can interpret what user actually want. It actually can. This agent can pick up our tools using our Ref SDK to actually implement what users want to do. So that's very useful from our side. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Serge, maybe we talk a little bit about and go through the process here for what maybe you guys are doing specifically for Rhea with this initial thing, and then maybe we can get into later down the road of like how anyone can kind of do this.
Yep, that makes sense. So it all starts with like building the agent on the Ref side or the Rhea side in this case. The agent was kind of like already built, so I even made the process a lot easier. But it's possible for anyone to like build their dApp into like an agent through like our docs and our agent building system. So I guess that would be the first step. The second step would be implementing the embeddable chat component into the website or of the dApp. And that would enable then the agent to be able to act on that website. But the main point here, I think, is to structure and make the agent in a way that it not only does everything you can do on the dApp, but also kind of like accompanies the user journey from like beginning to end and guides them through the process of how to use the app. And that will hopefully result in a much lower user drop-off for people like not knowing exactly how to do things, which is a very common issue in DEX especially.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, you guys have been uniquely suited to implement some of this stuff because you guys started with a wallet. You put AI in your wallet first as a piece of that, and then you can start to do some DeFi stuff. So now feels like the next sense that to me makes sense of like, hey, can we actually put this right into the DEX directly? Marco, for your implementation here, why Bitte? Let's say, just for the sake of this, I'll just not to put you on the spot necessarily, but like, why did this partnership kind of fit best for you guys?
I think we have a good relationship with them, and we also want to have some feedback. when developing these things, because we kind of hope that we not only using this AI agent to help users, but also help ourselves. That is, normally user can only use our front end, and our front end will taught users how to do this, how to do that. But if users want to do something special, we don't know in advance, and users also don't know how to tell us. So with this AI agent, they can tell the AI agent, and we may get feedback, and we know there is maybe some direction we don't realize before. So that will also greatly improve ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point of that like feedback loop that you start to get into a little bit. And for this implementation, how does the product that is implementing the agent get some of that feedback? Is there some place that they can see that information, that data, or is that something that you as a partner provide, Serge?
So the idea in the first iteration of the product that's not yet available, but the idea is to kind of have a lot of like metrics that the different dApps that implement the embeddable chat can use to kind of improve their metrics overall. So if you see that the users are trying to do a particular thing, especially you can take that kind of insight and try and make that in a way that you can like boost your usage. For instance, you can also see that certain transactions are failing for some particular reason. Maybe you can tweak some things. Maybe like, for example, the default slippage might be too low and transactions are failing. So you would be able to maybe look at this and see how people can kind of interact with it and improve it.
Yeah, that is really interesting feedback too there of like, again, and I'm sure it's probably instructive for you guys too, as you are allowing people to embed these agents, but can correct me if I'm wrong here, but you guys are also helping guide some of how the agent kind of works, right? So they're building the logic that they want for the transactions, but it's not like you guys are just plugging in a GPT wrapper. It's a little bit more advanced than that.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we have our runtime, which has a lot of primitives, which help already bootstrap agents from the start. We also have a bunch of tools in our registry, which will help people building agents. We're also going to launch the agent builder very soon, which is something that will help a lot in taking all the pieces that already exist and assembling them into an agent that you can actually embed wherever you want. So that's going to be quite a big thing. But yeah, in the future, our runtime is even going to be a more powerful force in kind of reducing amounts of like scams and like bad transactions and those kinds of things. And I think creating like this baseline for making AI like less evil and decentralized is kind of the goal moving forward. But yeah, for now, also giving support to different partners so that they can build the agents in the best way possible and benefit their users is also something that we're doing. So yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. And Marco, going back to you a little bit here. So for Rhea Finance, there's a couple different things that you guys are all kind of doing here at once, it sounds like. So there's the rebrand, there is the integration of Burrow coming into Ref, which has now become Rhea.
Yeah.
And now you are also expanding the technology part of this, of including AI agents here. Is this something where you feel like it's now time to kind of almost reinvent and start to innovate more in this product being the largest DEX on there?
Sure. And we also we always put user experience in our first priority. So all those things like the merge of a lending protocol with this exchange protocol, the main purpose is to provide user with the best experience. So we think the AI agent is the right direction toward that toward our goal. So yeah, we totally want to in progress these things.
Yeah. And can we talk, I think for people who maybe are not really aware, because I kind of just, I'm saying, I guess, maybe a little too casually. So can you explain a little bit about like what's happened here with Ref and Burrow, and now it's becoming one branding?
Yeah, it's like actually when we're talking about DeFi, it's always including not one thing. Like if you, it's not only one swap. You may want to do swap to in the first as the first move, and the next you may want to in a lending protocol to borrow or to supply to earn some profit. So it always be a combination of multiple moves. They will involve different protocols. So as the borrow and ref are the top one exchange protocol and the top one lending protocol on Rhea. So we want to provide our users with one-stop shop of DeFi experience by merge these two protocols into one. So that's the main goal of these things.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting point. So, and having that one-stop shop here a little bit, and including something that now gives people a better user experience for Rhea going forward. Is that something where you guys are really trying to seek out if you can expand your offerings as well, like long term? Is it like, hey, we know what we do well right now, these are the two things, and we're going to kind of focus on that?
Yeah, we want to do some innovation on DeFi side by merge of these two things. For example, with this with AI agent, user may want to do some to just say in human language to do some DeFi business, and the AI agent will help us to interpret it and break down to different actions, and these actions may involve different protocols. We want to integrate all these steps into one. On the front end, that is AI agent. On the back end, that is a merge of the different protocols into one. Yeah, that's the whole architecture. Yeah.
Nice. When does all of this start to go live? Is this in Rhea already? The ability to use an AI agent?
Yeah. For the exactly time, I'm not sure here. It's not on my on my hand now. Yeah. It's.
Serge, you know?
I know that it's in development. I've been accompanying the Rhea devs, providing some support on that end. I think the implementation is coming along nicely, but I'm not aware of like dates. But I don't think it will be too long on that end.
Nice.
The implementation is coming along nicely.
And so I think, as all of this, we're starting to see all these different other pieces here on Near, and this is maybe more of just, again, maybe your guys' thoughts and opinions on it. We're seeing things like intents that are allowing more multi-chain type of stuff, and we're seeing a lot more products that are multi-chain and doing things cross-chain. Is that where, again, maybe Marco, you're better suited to answer this, is that where I think for Rhea, seeing something like AI come into play here, where you can simplify that user experience of going cross-chain?
Sure. Definitely, that's the direction. So you may not see the AI agent. They may can do very little things now because that's just a demo. We will put more functionality into it, including not only this swap, this lending, and also bridging cross-chain things. We will step by step to fill into it.
Yeah. And so this is something where anyone who is using vetted agents can actually put some rails in place that if you don't want it to expand too quickly, I want to kind of keep my users in a lane, I can do that and then eventually spread that out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yep. And I think just to add on to like the multi-chain part, I think it really has a lot of strength in like abstracting away a lot of the complexity. For instance, like if I connected my wallet and I have maybe some funds on Base, and I just say, hey, I want to deposit like some Near on Burrow to supply, and it just says, hey, you don't have funds on Near right now, but you can bridge them, and then I'll do the deposit. So it would automatically kind of like parse like what you want to do and what's like the best way to do that, and then just offer it to you, and then you just say yes or no. As long as the costs are very clearly outlined, I think it's like a very, very good experience.
Yeah, I like the context awareness of all of that, right? Of just, and anyone who is probably using DeFi regularly and is fairly crypto comfortable probably has multiple wallets on multiple chains, and you don't always necessarily know, the status of everything. And being able to have an agent that is, somewhat aware of at least maybe my holdings, to then at least, maybe they can't, maybe even if it doesn't even like actually do the transaction, at least just tells me, oh hey, by the way, you have this sitting here. Hey, do you know you have this staked? um like, do you know how much do you know how long I left stuff in like meme coins staked on ref you past the date because I just forgot that it was there. It's like all those little things, that having something that's context aware is really interesting to me, especially in the sense of DeFi. um so uh I think what one of the things that I would like to kind of jump into a little bit here is, maybe Serge, if you can just kind of talk about how anyone can actually start to leverage an embedded agent. And this is not something that like you're just doing special for Ref, that or Rhea. Sorry, I'm going to get that wrong 100 times today. Um, that anyone can do this, and it's actually something that you guys are making available to all developers.
Yep, for sure. So it all starts with like building the actual agent, which we try to simplify as much as possible. So if you have any like development skills like building APIs or scripts, you should be able to assemble an agent quite easily. And then it's about like refining the prompt to make sure that it's using the tools in the most effective way. And the prompt is really what's gonna tell the agent like how to accompany the user through the whole user journey. Um, and then on the embeddable side, it's literally just a React component. So if you have any front end development experience, it should be fairly simple to put into almost any website, and the agent is very easily pluggable. So I think that's the easiest path forward. We have some docs that I will for sure post for everyone to take a look at. But yeah, it's very much available to everyone. I think everyone can mess around with it. And then there's a next frontier, which we're going to be exploring very soon, which is allowing people to inject their own components into the chat. What will this allow is for people to have their agents' tools have specific UIs, and that's a really big game changer because it will allow you to have like generative UI as you speak to the agent.
Yeah. No, I mean, that sounds really cool. I'm bringing up the docs, just so
Mhm.
people can kind of see here, and I'll share the URL as well. But this is something where, I personally have tried this out and I've got it working. It is really fairly streamlined to get started with it. It was not overly complicated process by any means. So something if somebody is interested in kind of checking this out. And what I like about some of the things that are happening here is that you can still build your agent to have all the rails that you want. You can then customize it and put it the way you want inside your thing, and it feels like it's part of your product. And uh, just for some context, like you and I have personally talked about, like the user experience of like forcing people to go to wallets isn't always the place that you want to send people. So to be able to expand this into, hey, here's my own product already, and I can tie this in and still have that experience. And actually, um, yeah, I don't know if you said this already, but like you can actually put in the full wallet selector on top of this still. You do not have to stay with the Bitte wallet, which is, I think, is really a cool experience as well.
Yeah, exactly. So for wallet integrations, even you can inject an account directly. So if you want to have like a custodial version, you can also do that, or you can inject wallet selector or wallet connect if you want to go multi-chain.
Mm.
And yeah, then you can select one of the agents that already exist or build your own. And very soon you'll be able to assemble from all the bits of all the agents with all those tools your own version and add a prompt to that, and then be able to embed that as well, which I think is going to be pretty powerful.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, taking a little bit of a step back, Marco. So today, also this week, actually also marks this rebrand and kind of like this relaunch.
Mhm.
Can you just talk a little bit about kind of how this all came together and a little bit of and just what this means for users of Ref and Burrow going forward?
Talking about rebranding, yeah, it's a big move to refinance. So we do. It's not only just a rebranding. We actually fill into some main features, including this AI agent. So we want to use these actually the substantial things features to rebranding our product. It's not only just a rename. It's just it should be a great improvement with the different protocols together. Yeah.
Nice. And is there any functionality that is being removed as you merge these together? Like, is the stuff that I was doing on Burrow before all going to stay? All those features staying the same?
Yeah. From UI side, yeah, there will be some tiny functionality be removed, but just because the user has not likely to use it. Sometimes they may not. They may very difficult to find how to go to the entrance. Some functionality is just very rare people, maybe some expert will use it, but it's not suitable for put on the main page. So for this kind of functionality, we also have just ideas that we can use this AI agent to have our users can have some their ideas, different ideas to through this AI agent, and the AI agent will then use our SDK to fulfill those very different users specific special purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, because
No.
The whole
more complex
yeah the whole page will be neat. Yeah.
Yeah, the more complex the dApp gets, the more value you get from being able to like parse the intent and give the agent the right tool.
Yeah. Yes.
Makes a ton of sense. And Marco, you guys also, just from a developer standpoint here, you guys also have an SDK. Can you highlight a little bit of what you can do with the SDK?
Yeah. Our SDK has a open source. It's on GitHub. If I can let me see how to present our screen, my screen. Wait a second.
Yeah.
If we want to see that, just a minute. Okay. Yeah. This one. Can you see my screen now?
I'm pulling it up. There we go. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. This is our Ref SDK. You can see actually it's not only Ref Finance. You can see the first step is trade. Yeah, that's for Ref Finance, and those pool. That's for we want this kind of component for our liquidity provider, and this farm, boost farm stake, and also we will fill into our lending protocol functionality into this SDK. And in the future, in the near future, this Ref SDK will be the main entrance for this AI agent or the third-party developers to interact with our Rhea, this new branding Rhea product. So now the AI agent can use these trade functionalities to help user to do swap. That's what I think is the main usage for the normal users to use our Ref, right? So, but in the near future, we will support our liquidity provider to manage their LP tokens. We will support them to earn profit in our farming and staking and take part into our community like DAO management. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Really, I think So I'm guessing, sir, this is kind of what the agent is actually really referencing, right? It's not hooking into the actual front end interface. It's actually using
Yeah.
the SDK on the back end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The different tools in the agent, are just kind of like wrapping the different functionalities of the Ref SDK. But then, of course, the important part is also giving the necessary context. So being able to tell the agent what the user's balances are, and all those things are quite important for making sure that what the agent suggests is correct and useful for the user.
Yeah, interesting. Can we, I don't need you to do like a full demo, but can you kind of maybe show your screen for a second, sir, and just kind of walk us through what an embedded agent looks like? Is that possible?
Sure. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah. We can fill a little bit of time. Yeah, no rush. I kind of put you on the spot.
No, all good, all good.
So yeah,
um,
here, let me pull your screen up here.
all right, so let me just pull up the right thing. So I was looking here at the Ref SDK. Let's see. Okay, so if I go to like chat.bitte.ai, this is pretty much this is pretty much our like most basic version of the embeddable chat. So we have our Bitte assistant here. We can connect our wallet, and this is exactly how it will look if you just like set it up basically.
Mhm.
But also, if you go to like our like main landing page, let's do a prompt. If you check this out right here, is we're actually using the embeddable component for our own like app. So that's really making sure that we have like the embeddable chat in like the best form that it can be. So our whole system from now on will also consume the embeddable chat. So anything that we do, any developer can do as well, and that's possible via our SDKs or the embeddable chat. So this sidebar here is just a selector that has all our different agents from the registry. We will actually publish some docs probably very early next week for the API that accesses our registry. So you'll be able to fetch information and tools for all these agents that are here. So you'll be able to very easily build any component like this if you would like to. And then this chat box right here is literally just the embeddable chat, and then we pass in the ID of the agent as an argument, and that will basically make it so we're chatting to that particular agent.
Interesting. Just from like a tech standpoint, what is driving on the back end? What LLM are you guys using? And talk about you have some of your own primitives as well. You don't have to obviously get into all those, but just kind of in general, what's kind of happening there?
So I think we've experimented with a couple of models. I think the idea here is to make it so people can select what models they use, whether they leverage them through Near AI. I think that's also a very strong possibility that we're exploring. But yeah, I think I'm not sure what model is active right now in production. But also on that end, we also want to really push to open source our runtime very soon, which will be something that will make it so people can also run our runtime on their own if they wish to, in a decentralized way, with their own API keys.
So yeah, I was going to ask about that piece of it. Is being able to run my own, is that so I have more control over, again, which LLM and which primitives I have in there? Is that the point of doing that?
No, I think the main point there would be decentralization. I don't think there's necessarily an argument for you to like run that for it to be better for like you or for like the normal developer or user. I think having us run it, but like we would want this service to remain runnable way beyond the existence of like any Web3 company. So kind
I
of
see
like
what you're saying.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's the main thing, because in terms of like choosing models or anything, that's going to be available, and it shouldn't be much of an issue. Yeah, and the primitives should be all available through our registry APIs as well, and we should make those available as easily as possible.
Nice. Yeah, this is. I mean, this is a really. It's a nice announcement to see the. I guess one. Different companies within Near working together to integrate new tech, and two, to see some different uses of agents that are going to actually be in production, not just like samples or tests or whatever, which is nice. I wonder for kind of here in the future, is this something where um, for you guys at BitDay, does this become a product offering where there is something where like uh, some kind of fee or transaction is tied to it, or is it more or less like you guys are building with this and you're offering it as open source because you're using it anyways, that kind of thing?
So I think for now there's ideas of making this into like more of a B2B product, but also maintaining the open source part of it.
Hmm.
So I think the goal is to kind of keep the best of both worlds, and I think that's where we're heading on the embeddable chat side. So yeah, obviously on the more product side, you'd have like more streamlined support and like more access to certain like indicators which would help you like improve like your business and gain value that way.
Hmm.
But also make this like runnable so anyone can do it themselves. And yeah, I think that keeps the best of both cases.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Uh, as we kind of wrap some of this up here, Marco, for Rhea and everything else in the relaunch, um, and not from a financial perspective, but just more from a logistic perspective, um, what is happening with the different tokens that are already tied to like Ref and Burrow?
Uh, I beg your pardon. What is the
So
type?
Ref and Burrow each have their own token already.
Mhm.
As you guys are merging under one brand, what's happening with the tokens related to that? Will they stay
Yeah,
independent?
yeah. Although I'm not the one to design this the token merge things, but I believe that will be a way to convert these two tokens into one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, no, this I think really nice partnership to see. A lot of good things are happening. It's nice to see some stuff that is working towards being actually an in production agent and things like that. Before we wrap here, uh, any kind of things that we should be on the lookout for? Obviously, for this to go live. But besides that, I'll start with you, Serge. At BitDay, anything else that we should be on the lookout just in general?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I would look out for the agent builder. Also check out our new like app design that we just launched at Bitte.ai. So be sure to check those out. If you're interested in building an embeddable chat into your website or an agent, check out our docs at docs.bit.ai. Or yeah, if you'd like to message me on Telegram for any help, feel free to do so. I think my handle is Surge_code. So yeah, I'm open to help anyone out that wants to build agents or embed agents into their website. So yeah,
Just not currently on Twitter.
yeah, I got suspended for think I got falsely flagged as a bot.
That's funny. Yeah, no, that's great. Marco, uh, anything else
Yeah.
that we should be on the lookout for?
Yeah. Actually, I'm looking forward, eager to know when the user, actually using this AI agent. We want to know what kind of actions they really they really think our refinance can do.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really interesting to us.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure. No, it's a really interesting time. I'm glad to see that projects are experimenting and trying these different things, and certainly looking forward to see how this all comes out. So I really thank you guys for your time, and hope the best for you both in getting this implementation out the door and everything else, and looking forward to it in production.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All
It's
right.
great.
Thank you, Jules.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
Serge.
Hey,
Take
take
care. Bye
care.
bye.
Bye bye. Thanks, folks. That was that was nice to really talk through and get a sense of what's coming. Um, couple of highlights that I just want to catch you guys up on. In about a little less than 90 minutes, we have a debugging session for those who are part of the AI hackathon. So if you are building and you're working on AI agent and you have questions, we will have a live episode where you can ask one of our DevRels to kind of walk through some stuff. We'll give some different examples. We'll do a whole bunch of different stuff with building AI agents here on Near and Near AI. Also, the hackathon does close in a few days, but if you have not started yet, there is plenty of time. In the current thing of these are AI agents, there are so many different tooling sets to allow you to get up and running quickly. You can use AI to help you build AI agents. So, really, it's about having an idea. And if you just want to try something out, it's worth a shot. But definitely check that out. All the information here. I actually have the wrong thing. Let's see. Here we go. 1 trillion agents. I had the wrong hackathon below. Here we go. Join the hackathon. You can join that down below and really kind of check that out. There'll be plenty of other agent hackathons coming here in the near future too. So if you don't have an idea ready just yet, but you want to do something down the road, there'll be plenty of opportunities to try that out as well. Also, next week, we'll be back on schedule here at DevHub Live. We'll be at our normal time on Thursday at 4 p.m. UTC. And we'll continue to throw in some of these bonus episodes here too. It's nice to talk to some different products around the ecosystem of what's kind of happening and how they're integrating some of this stuff. So see you hopefully in, a little less than an hour and a half, and look forward to seeing what everyone builds. So until next time, I'm Joe. I'm your host, and I will see you then. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.